Hey everybody, Rebecca here for the October budget review, and I apologize for the weird lighting today. Today is actually November 3rd, Wednesday, so this is the first day that I have had off from work in a month. And I am actually filming at 11:30 at night because I'm a third shift worker, and I figured it would be the wisest thing for me to just stay on my third shift schedule like I have been. I am trying to keep up with the channel as best as I can, but that means that I am having to film at night. So the lighting is what it is. I hope you guys will bear with me. I wanted to try and stay caught up with the channel and at least upload one video a week, even though I have been working like crazy lately. My goal lately, if you're new here, is to take on as much overtime as my job has allowed me to take to try and get my student loans paid off before the end of the year. Now, I have to admit that the last video I put out was the November budget preview, and I actually have made a mistake. As far as my income goes, I tried to calculate how much net income I was going to bring home from work after taking on all of these extra nights like I have been doing and getting bonus pay on top of that. And I have to say that I was pretty accurate as far as the taxes go. But I forgot something. And even though I am a fire channel, I am surprised that I forgot to account for this. But I forgot to account for the 7% that goes towards my 403B at work, my retirement account at work. It's similar to a 401k. I forgot to account for that 7% that was getting withheld for my 403B. So I actually overestimated the amount of income that I should bring home for November. And if y'all have been with me for a little bit, then you know that I was really hoping that I would be able to pay off my student loans in November, but I don't think that I'm actually going to be able to do it in November. It may be December before I'm actually able to do that. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to try my best, but I wanted to let you guys know that it likely won't be November when I get my student loans paid off. Womp womp. Sad fire movement noises. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. If this happens to be your first video and you have no idea what I'm talking about, my name is Rebecca. I am on a mission to reach financial independence and retire early. I am almost 36, single, living in North Carolina, and I am pursuing this on a single income. So if you're interested to see how someone on a single income can reach financial independence and retire early, then subscribe to this channel down below, because the whole point of this channel is to show y'all my journey and how I'm going to do that. But this video is the October budget review. I share with y'all every single month how much money I bring in and how I choose to spend, save, or invest that money. And since this is the first night off that I have had in a month, I am bringing back the beers and budgeting review for this budget review, you guys. I bought some hard kombucha earlier today, and I've had a couple, so we are gonna have a beers and budgeting review today. And without further ado, let's jump into the budget and see how I did in October. All right, here we go. This is my Google Sheets budget for October 2021. At the top here, I have listed my net income. I do have some income sources blocked out for privacy, but I do show totals at the bottom. And y'all can see that for October 2021, I had planned on bringing in over $11,000 as far as net income goes. Again, I realized when I got my second paycheck for the month that I had made a mistake calculating my net income somewhere, and I realized that I had forgotten to account for the 403B contributions. So my income that I realized for October was actually a little bit less. I came in at $10,800 for the month of October. But this is still an amazing amount of income for me. If you have been with this channel for a little while, then you know that a regular month for me, I bring home about $4,000 a month. The reason I have over $10,000 worth of income this month is because I do work in healthcare. My company that I work for has been extremely short-staffed recently, and I took advantage of some overtime opportunities as well as bonus pay. I also got a couple of raises, and I'm a third shift worker, so I get shift differential for working third shift. So all of that compounded together, and it has made an amazing month as far as income goes for me, and all of those factors are going to continue into November. I am working 6 nights a week, 12-hour shifts, so I'm getting lots of overtime. The bonus pay has been extended, so the goal for all of this extra income that I'm bringing in is to try and get my student loans paid off before the end of the year. I'm really hoping that I can do that. I do show some income sources for you guys, and this Get Upside, I decided to cash out from Get Upside. I will cash out of any of the rebate apps that I use whenever I get to the threshold that I can cash out. I know a lot of people will cash out of those apps like once a year and use that income for Christmas money, but whenever I reach the threshold for any of the apps that I use to cash out, I will usually cash out and then just start over and let it start rebuilding. So I did cash out from Get Upside this month, and that was $26.90. I do also show my YouTube income whenever I get a YouTube paycheck, but I did not get one for October. Moving down into the bills and spending section here, y'all can see starting at the top, my mortgage is $536 a month. Yes, my mortgage is super cheap. I live in North Carolina. I bought my home in 2014 when house prices were not as crazy as they are today, and my mortgage is really cheap. And once I am debt free, I really plan on trying to make the most of the lower cost of living here so that I can reach FIRE faster. My power bill, I budgeted $100, but I actually came in pretty low this month, which I am not mad about. It hasn't been super cold or super hot either, so I think that's what saved me there. Budgeted $100 and I came in at $79.48. Water bill, I budget $40 as always. I came in at $35.52. Internet is $99 and I actually paid $198 this month. Now, this has to do more with when I paid my credit card bill than it does with the internet service that I use, Starlink, actually overcharging me. They did not overcharge me. They bill me on the 29th of every month, $99 for my internet service. And last month I had paid my credit card off before the 29th, and this month I actually paid off my credit card after the 29th. So it appears that I was double charged, but really I wasn't. That's why the internet bill is over this month. Gym, I'm a member of Planet Fitness, even though I have not been going at all lately, working as much as I have been, but they charge me $23.06 every month, and that was right on target as well. Gas for my car, I knew that the gas bill for my car was going to be crazy this month since I was driving so much extra with all of this work commute that I have. If you're new to the channel, my work commute is a little over an hour one way. So working every single night, I knew that I was going to go through a lot of gas, and I actually estimated pretty well. I budgeted $400 and I came in right at $393.36. Boss's Day, this was a gift that the ultrasound department that I work for got for our lead ultrasound tech. If you're new to the channel, I do ultrasound for a living. That is my healthcare function. And we have a lead tech for the company, and it was Boss's Day, so I contributed to a gift for her, and that was $10. Amazon. I had budgeted to spend $278.62, and whenever it's something specific like this, that tells me that I spent it at the end of last month after I had already paid off all my credit cards, and I did not expect to buy anything else on Amazon during the month of October, but apparently I bought something and I don't remember what that is, so I'm going to go look that up real quick. I really don't think that I bought anything that I didn't need. All right, so the Amazon stuff here, coffee, that is self-explanatory. I buy 5 pounds at a time because I go through a lot being a third shift worker like I am. The coriander seeds here, that is a holistic approach to thyroid health. I do have hypothyroidism, and I am trying to make my thyroid a little bit happier, so I make a tea out of the coriander seed, and that is supposed to be good for thyroid health. we'll see if it works or not. I am dealing with some hypothyroid issues and trying to get my thyroid functions back to a normal level without having to go on Synthroid. That is a whole other thing that I've been working on. Some other supplements here for the month, and this shampoo and conditioner I actually bought in preparation for staying in the hotel that I had booked for all of these crazy work hours, but then I ended up canceling the hotel reservation because I feel okay. My mom has been staying with me and helping me with everything around the house, so I have been able to just work, sleep, and I have been fine. So I canceled my hotel reservation, but I'll still end up using this shampoo and conditioner at some point. And yeah, some more supplements here, household items. Nothing I bought on Amazon recently that I didn't need. Back to the budget here, y'all can see lawnmower repair. Again, I had lawnmower repair in the September budget, and the guy who had came and worked on my lawnmower that I bought used off of Facebook Marketplace, he came out and did an oil change and just serviced my mower, sharpened my blades. I thought that I was all set for next year whenever the mowing season comes back, but after he left, I ended up getting a flat tire in my mower, and given that I bought the tire used off of Facebook Marketplace, I didn't actually know how old the tires were on the mower, so I decided to just go ahead and completely replace the tires, and he bought a couple tires for me and replaced them, and that was $130. I'm really hoping that that is the last thing that I have to do for my lawnmower for a while. It should be good to go for next year whenever the grass starts growing again. Next, the Luss order. Luss is a hair care company specifically for curly haired people, and I definitely do have curly hair, you guys. Lately here though, it is a mass of just frizz because I have not been using the Luss brand products in my hair. I have just been washing my hair, conditioning it, yes, because you have to condition if you have curly hair. But I've been washing and conditioning my hair with the Aussie brand hair products, which I do actually like. They do a fairly decent job of taming my hair, but I still have a ton of frizz because I'm not using the Luss products like I should be, and honestly, I won't until after all of this work craziness is done. With me working every single night and mask on, mask off, mask on, mask off all night long, it doesn't matter if I use the Luss products or not. My hair just ends up frizzy like crazy, so I haven't been bothering with making my hair look pretty, but I was getting low on the Luss products, so I decided with all this extra money that I was bringing in to just go ahead and restock on that, and that was $154.08. LabCorp, I saw my PCP last month in September, and he ordered a bunch of lab work for me, and my insurance paid for most of it. My portion of it was $27.74. Groceries and household. This is pretty much the category that catches everything else that doesn't fall into another category in my budget. This includes all the food that I get, whether it's groceries or eating out. This includes any alcohol I buy, which I did not buy any alcohol since I've been working so much lately. This also includes anything for my dog Rollo and anything as far as household supplies go. And I budget $400 in this category every month, and I actually came in a little bit over at $441.16. I'm not really mad about that though. It's fairly close to what I budgeted, and the challenges that I had in the month of October with this budget is that with me working every single night of the week, I did manage to keep up with my meal prepping even though I was working every night. But in order to keep up with my meal prepping, when I would get off of work on Saturday morning at 7 a.m., I would go directly to the grocery store, get the stuff that I needed to meal prep with, bring it home, go to sleep, and then I would end up meal prepping the next day or maybe Monday. And because I was grocery shopping around 8 a.m., I actually had to grocery shop at the grocery store that's a little bit more expensive than Aldi. I usually shop at Aldi all the time, and they don't open until 9 a.m. But when you're working every single night, 12-hour shifts, I am not waiting till 9 a.m. to go to the grocery store. So I went to the more expensive grocery store, but they open up earlier. So I ended up paying more for the groceries that I did get, but I looked at it as just the cost of doing business. At least I wasn't spending my money eating out a whole lot in October. I had really expected that I was going to be eating out a bunch in October because of working every single night, and because I thought that I was going to be spending my time in a hotel room for about half of the month. But because I canceled the hotel stay, I really did not eat out a whole lot. Some of this $441 is Starbucks spending. I'll just confess that. I did go to Starbucks several times during the month of October, but y'all, I'm a third shift worker. Normally, I never go to Starbucks at all. When I'm working my usual 3 nights a week, I don't do Starbucks at all. I make my own coffee and just make do. But when I'm working 7 nights a week, I treated myself. So this $441 includes all the Starbucks spending that I did and the fact that I had to grocery shop at the more expensive grocery store. I'm not mad that I was only $40 over for the month. Grand totals for my regular bills and spending for the month, I thought I'd spend around $1,900. I came in at $2,359.94. So yeah, I went over, but I usually do. Sometimes it's even worse than this, so I'm not too mad about that. Moving down into my debt section here, y'all can see the 2 debts that I have left. One being student loans, the other being my car, OC, that's what I call him. It is short for opportunity cost. If you're new to the channel, I did buy a brand new car a few months ago, and I love the car, but I do recognize that it was an opportunity cost buying a brand new car. So that is what I'm going to call him until I get him paid off. But anyway, my student loans, I have those on auto payment, and my payment this month was $474.43. That came directly out of my checking. That was right on target. My car payment every month is $492 or $93. I just rounded up to $500, so that was on target. So total for the month was $974.43 towards my debt. Let's take a look at what I actually owe on my student loans and my car payment. Here we go. Here is the debt breakdown section for November. This is where my balances stand as of November 1st. So y'all can see that my student loans, I owe $14,777.88. My interest rate on my student loans is variable, but it's 1.97%, pretty low. But still, I thought that if there was any way that I could possibly work enough that I was able to get these student loans paid off in one fell swoop before the end of the year, why not do that? That would save me $475 a month towards a payment when I could be using that for paying down this car loan. And that is what I plan to do come 2022. I'm hoping that I will get these student loans paid off before the end of the year. Come 2022, I will start throwing all of my extra money at my car debt, and I am hoping that I can get my car completely paid off in 2022. Now, I know that my interest rate on my student loans and my car is very low, and the math would suggest that it would be smarter for me to throw my extra money at investing, but when it comes right down to it, I have been paying debt for decades. I am tired of paying debt. I want to just get it gone. I am hoping I can rip it off quick like a Band-Aid in the next year and a couple of months, be done with it, and then I can start throwing all of my extra cash every month towards investing and really pursuing this FIRE goal. Like I mentioned earlier, I do have a low cost of living here in North Carolina, and I do have a decent income, so if I can get my debt gone, then I am really going to start seeing some progress towards my financial independence, retire early goals. So yes, my student loans are at $4,777. My car sits at about $32,000 even. From the payments that I made in October, most of that did go to principal since the interest rates are pretty low, but still, I did lose almost $100 to interest. And y'all can see my year-to-date totals down here. So far this year, I have only lost $820 to interest throughout the entire year of 2021 making my debt payments. And I have been making minimum payments for the most part. My principal that I've paid off for debt has been $10,400 almost, so that's pretty impressive. Even though I still have a good bit of debt left, I've got over $45,000 of debt left to pay off. I'm glad that I have made some decent progress this year. And as far as the mortgage goes, I owe $96,332.78 on the mortgage. That is a 30-year fixed interest rate at 3.25%. So yeah, I guess the smartest thing for me to do mathematically would be to focus on paying off my house before even my student loans or my car debt, because the interest rate on the house is actually higher than the student loans or my car debt. But I'm not focusing on paying off the mortgage aggressively. I don't think that I will pay off the mortgage aggressively after I get my car debt and student loans gone. We'll see how I feel once I get to the end of 2022. I am really hoping that 2022 will be the year that I get debt-free completely. I'll reassess how I feel at that point, but I'm thinking that I'm just going to send all of my extra money towards investing versus paying off the mortgage early. Y'all let me know what you think about that down in the comments section below. Considering that I have a pretty stable job, I am in healthcare, so I do not fear for job security. I know some people argue paying off your mortgage early just to reduce your expenses as much as possible, just in case you have a job that is not as stable as mine, but I'm not concerned about that. My mortgage payment is so low at $536 a month that I just don't think that I'm going to pay off my house aggressively, but y'all let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below. All right, coming back to the October tab here, we are down into my investing and fire tracking portion of the budget. This is my most favorite part of the budget, but I was not actually planning on throwing a whole lot to investing in October, but I will say that I mentioned in previous videos that if the market took a downturn, then I may reconsider my strategy of using all of this extra money that I was bringing in from working extra hours to throw a little bit of that at investing if the markets took a downturn, and they did, you guys. The end of September, 1st of October, the markets really kind of had a dip there, and I decided to take some of the extra money that I had brought in so far and throw it at investing. Now, this was before I figured out that I forgot to account for this money that was going towards my 403B. So I thought that I was going to bring in more money than I actually did in October. So if I had realized that beforehand, I probably would not have thrown this money at investing, but it is what it is now. I do not regret throwing all of this extra money at investing for the month because I bought the dip, and that's what you're supposed to do. The markets do not make a downturn very often, and I'm glad that I actually had a little bit of extra money to throw into the market when it did downturn. So I have a taxable account with M1 Finance and Fidelity. I wasn't planning on throwing anything at those accounts for October, but I ended up throwing $1,500 at my M1 account for the month. My Roth IRA for 2021 has already been maxed out, so I couldn't put anything in there if I wanted to. My Fidelity account, I didn't throw any extra money at that. This is the account that I use for options trading. I also hold my emergency fund in there. Coinbase, this is the new account that I opened in October. For a while now, I have been wanting to get into cryptocurrency, and along with the markets, the cryptocurrency market kind of took a little bit of a dip towards the beginning of October, and I decided to just take the opportunity to go ahead and get into crypto at the beginning of October, and I did do that. I threw $1,000 into my Coinbase account around the beginning of October, and the 2690 here that y'all see, that is the 2690 that came from my Get Upside cash out. I decided that I would like to use all of the rebate money that I get from the apps that I use towards crypto. I mean, really that is free money. It's money that I've already spent and I'm just getting rebates through these apps that I use. So I thought to myself, why not throw that money in my crypto account and see what happens? So far, it's been going well. I put in $1,026.90 to my Coinbase account in October. And at the end of October, it was at $1,246.73. There was a lot of growth here. I was happy about that. I am absolutely not the authority when it comes to cryptocurrencies, but I just personally feel like that there is a place for cryptocurrency in the future. That seems to be the way things are going, and I wanted to get a small amount of exposure there now if I could. So this is just a buy and hold strategy here for Coinbase, and if you're interested in getting started with crypto, I do now have a Coinbase referral link in the description box below if y'all are interested. As for my retirement account through my employer, my 403B, I estimated that my contributions for the month would be around $1,000 and my employer would match around $500. I tend to be conservative with my estimates. This was all pretty much a guess anyway because I was working so many extra hours in October, but I came in fairly close on both estimates. I ended up sending $1,265.64 towards my retirement account in October. My employer matched $723.22. So overall for the month here, I ended up sending a whole lot more towards investing than I thought I would. I thought that I would send about $1,500 to investing, and I ended up sending $4,515.76 to investing. I am not mad about that. I can't wait to see how much I am able to send to investing once my debt is gone. It's going to be amazing because I also keep track of my savings rate in my budgets every single month. Let's take a look at that. If you're new to the channel, this column E here, just FYI, is keeping track of all of the balances in my various investing accounts that I have. So y'all can see that I am extremely close to another huge milestone. I cannot believe that I am very near $150,000 portfolio. If you've been with the channel for a while, then you know I crossed $100,000 in February of this year. This is the October budget review, and I was so close to reaching $150,000. I never would have guessed that after surpassing the $100,000 mark that I would be this close to $150,000 before the end of the year. That's insanity. I really think that I'm going to see $150,000 before 2021 is gone. So yay for that. Anyway, savings rate, like I was saying, I calculate that in this little box right here, and y'all can see for the month of October, my savings rate ended up being 35.24%, which is really nice. I do not include my debt payments into my savings rate. This is just calculated off of the money that I sent to investing for the month. That's how I like to calculate my savings rate. And my am I FI yet number here, this is am I financially independent yet? And no, I am not. I am 12.33% of the way to my FIRE number, which is $1.2 million. This is calculated off of my portfolio value. So yes, I'm 12% of the way to financial independence with a almost $150,000 portfolio if I keep my FIRE number of $1.2 million. This number out here, in case you're wondering, this $28,147.86, this is the total amount of money that has gone towards investing for me for this year. I like to just keep a tally on this throughout the year so that I know how much has gone to investing. This includes my employer match, but I think this is just a fun number to keep track of. And I'm glad that I keep track of this number because once I am completely debt free and start throwing all of the money that I usually throw to debt towards investing, I think it will be interesting to see how much more money I am able to put towards investing than I am right now. So lastly here, y'all can see that for the month of October, again, I overestimated my income and I was not planning on sending any money to investing, but I ended up throwing $2,500 at investing in October. So I thought that I would end up with about $8,420.20 left over for the month. I was going to save this, roll it into the November budget, and hang on to it in the hopes that I could pay off my student loans in November. But what actually happened was that I overestimated the amount of money that I actually brought in for the month, and I did end up sending some money to investing. So come the end of October, I only had $4,964.74 left over that I could roll over into November. And I know that that sounds so weird for me to say. I only had about $5,000 I could roll over here. This never happens, you guys. $5,000 is a lot of money to me. I normally bring in about $4,000 a month. So the fact that I have worked myself like a dog this month and still have $5,000 that I could roll over into the November budget, that is insanity to me. I am extremely grateful for that. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed this look at the October budget. I know that several of you were really excited to see how the month would go because you knew that I was working like crazy this month, and honestly, I was excited too to see how the month would turn out for me, although I am a little bit mad at myself that I forgot to account for that 7% of my gross income that goes towards my retirement account at work. So I ended up overestimating the amount of money I would actually bring home, which means that I overestimated the amount of money I would bring home in November as well. But still, I'm gonna do my best to try and get these student loans paid off before the end of the year. If by some miracle I could do it in the month of November, that would be great, but things were looking really close anyway when I did my November budget preview video, and that was when I was overestimating the amount of money I would actually bring home. So I don't think that I'm actually gonna be able to do it in November, but surely by the end of the year, I'll be able to get those student loans gone. And whatever extra money I do have left over after my student loans are paid, I plan on just saving that money to roll it into 2022 and use it towards my Roth IRA for 2022. So I know this video was super long, but my budget review videos always are. They are the longest video that I make every single month. If you can appreciate the transparency here, then don't forget to leave me a like down below. Let me know how October went for you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, y'all.